How about that? ARC's Mazda Monday, starting Monday, October 25, right here on Rick James TV. But for now, we're going to flip the switch on virtual Chicagoland. It is the final round of the di9Designs ENEA Farewell Series. 6 cars come into today's race, fighting it out for the championship. Matt in the chat says, what's up? Getting ready for a couple of pace laps here. You can see Stout Whiskey at the front with a more smoke. PTH the GOAT, CGMX Rose, the Aviator, and Word Burton are all going to be fighting for this title. It just matters who gets the finish better than the other guys. On the front row, you see the 48 of the Aviator next to Word Burton. Let's go through the field. And actually, before we even do anything, we need to address that little bit at the bottom. Feeling just a little bit, let's do this. Boom. And one of those, and there we go. Nice and tidy. Now we look good. Now we're ready to go racing. Once again, got to give a shout out to the folks over at di9Designs making all of this possible. And if you're asking what is di9Designs, they are the Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at di9Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week, on top of taking requests on all types of wallpapers, logos, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Be sure to use code DI9Designs for free shipping on all your diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. Once again, take a good look at your Championship 6. The 48, the 77, inside, outside. You've got the 8 of Dr. Bush starting in row number 2. On his outside, the number 18 of PTH the GOAT, one of those Championship 6. Pot Pie and Dip starting in round 3. There's a more smoke with a little bit of gold decoration, hoping for some championship success. About to throw the green flag in the final ENEA race on Heat 5. Let's go racing one last time. Out of that fourth corner now, looking at Dr. Bush, who's got a big push from Pot Pie and Dip in that number 10. Then you've got the 48 of the Aviator leading the cars, funneling down into turn number 1. Word Burton on the outside, one of those Championship 6. He's got another championship contender behind him, the 18 of PTH the GOAT. Then a more smoke in the 5 car, also in the championship hunt. At the front, this is what it looks like from the championship position. The Aviator leading this final round. M Hug in the chat says, good luck to all, let's keep it clean. ENEA Knockout says, ENEA is awesome, and you better believe it's awesome. T. Lockhart hoping for a good championship race. There's Sir Brunson in the number 6 Oscar Mayer Wienermobile at the back of this pack. C. Johnson in the spooky number 32 CorvetteParts.net Ford. Following the real MT, who's ahead of Stout Whiskey, one of your 6 championship contenders. At the front of this one is where Annihilator isn't. Moving through this field, you've got a battle for that lead. The 8 car of Dr. Bush to the inside of the Aviator for first place. Dr. Bush still not able to clear the Aviator out of turn number 4. To his inside, you've got the 77 of Word Burton being pushed along by the 42 of CGMX Rose. Great start to this one. So far, this first stage of racing will see 39 laps as its maximum distance. So far, 7 1/2 of them are underway. It's 8, 77, 48, your top 3. Riding along now with PTH the GOAT. He's sitting in the 6th position to the inside of Pot Pie and Dip in that number 10. He's trying to push along CGMX Rose. If you've recently joined us, I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of the di9Designs ENEA Grand Final from virtual Chicagoland. Those 6 names right there are the gamer tags that are involved in this championship hunt. Stout Whiskey, A More Smoke, PTH the Goat, and CGMX Rose. Also the Aviator and Word Burton make up those 6 pilots hunting ENEA's final victory and the final ENEA championship on NASCAR Heat 5. PTH the Goat sandwiched between Word Burton and A More Smoke, two of those 6 drivers, excuse me. Now to the inside of Dr. Bush, that 8 car not part of this championship fight. The 48, 18, 5, and 77 halfway out of the left side of the frame into this championship hunt. PTH the Goat now hunting down to the Aviator for first. Let's ride along with the number 18 Skittles Zombie Camry. A More Smoke now to the inside of car number 18. This the fight for first place. This is a fight for the championship between the 5 and the 18. Will the 48 make it 3 wide down the front straight? It is the 5 of A More Smoke who leads that lap, and in the championship final, he is your new leader at virtual Chicagoland. Backing up there, the 48 into the 77, and then that causes a mini backup. Car number 19, J-Man, in that unsponsored number 19, but we all know very well that's Bass Pro Shops orange. It almost looks like that Toyota Camry is actually going hunting in the woods. I love it. At the front, though, the 5 of A More Smoke now has the 48 of Eli White, a.k.a. the Aviator, who gets right in to Perrin Huggins, a.k.a. PTH the Goat, in the number 18. Stout Whiskey in that number 2 car, also part of this championship fight. All of these cars barreling down the back straight, fighting like it's the last lap. But here we are in this race, not even halfway through stage number 1. You have got to love how eager these drivers are. Down the front straight, drag race to the line, and this time it's the Aviator, car 48, who leads the lap and leads the race into turn 1. Aviator leading yet another lap behind him. He's got the 77 car of Word Burton. Timmy Moore in the Advent Health Chevrolet, giving a bit of a friendly nudge to car 48 to the inside of A More Smoke. Then you've got Stout Whiskey behind him in the 2. The 18 of PTH the Goat now to the inside of car number 2. You're looking at 5 out of your 6 championship contenders. And then car 42, CGMX Rose, a.k.a. Lee Sater, in the Credit One Bank Chevrolet to the inside of Dr. Bush in car number 8, all funneling down into that first corner. The 16 FOE Chevy is NNR Trip, and the Dayglow Orange number 19 Toyota Camry is J-Man. Single file for at least 1 millisecond. Then the drivers, look at this, 3 wide for position down the front straight. CGMX Rose to the inside of Stout Whiskey, and then Word Burton on the top side of that one. Single file top 7 out of turn 2, but not anymore. Here comes A More Smoke looking to get to the inside of the Aviator via help from the 18 of PTH the Goat. 2 Camrys, 2 Chevys in your top 4. More smoke ahead of the 18 car now. The 48 on the outside of car number 19. There's the 42 of CGMX Rose to the inside of the 16 NNR Trip, almost making contact out of the second corner, but so far, so good. The top 5 separated by 0.2 of a second. Coming out of this fourth corner, another lap will be completed, but how soon will it be until these drivers make it down pit road? Next time by, we'll have 20 to go in stage 1, and you can see 3 wide into the first corner. They're starting to get impatient. Once again, those are your championship contenders. The only 6 drivers fighting for any sort of accolades here. D. Taylor says, first race, let's go. LFG, man, let's go. I'm glad you're here. This is your first race, the ENEA, the final race for ENEA on NASCAR Heat 5, but I'm glad you're here, man. It's single file. Chevy, Toyota, Chevy, your top 3. More Smoke leads the procession down into turn 1. PTH the GOAT sitting in second. CGMX Rose sitting in third. There's Stout Whiskey rocking the 4th position. Let's ride around with the Discount Tire Chevrolet and see how this championship contender fights for his title. And just like that, in 32 seconds, they managed to drive 1.5 miles. The 2 car of Stout Whiskey now on the back end of CGMX Rose. The 20 DeWalt Camry of Drew LMAO, a lap down, trying to fight for relevance, but on the outside, he will be blown by the top 4, and they are all championship contenders. Matter of fact, all of your top 5 are all championship fighters. This race being led by the 5 of A More Smoke. In second place is car 18, PTH the GOAT. CGMX Rose sits third. Stout Whiskey currently running 4th. The Aviator sits in 5th. Word Burton just on the fringes of the top 10. The Real MT, part of this race as well. C. Johnson. We can't forget about our non-championship contenders. It's been a fun 8 races, and it's been a great send-off for NASCAR Heat 5, and this is the party that everybody came to see. At the front, it's still A More Smoke inside the final 20 laps of stage number 1. They have got those cars bunched together. Here's the aforementioned Word Burton actually sitting outside the top 10. Word may just be looking to run out the end of stage number 1, take what he learned and apply it to be a bit faster in stage number 2. PTH the GOAT now to the inside of A More Smoke. Here's the fight for the lead. 26 of 39 laps underway in stage 1. We're going to have a lucky number 13 laps to go. This time by car 18 to the inside. Now, PTH the GOAT, new leader in the Windy City. Joliet, Illinois, the site of many great finishes, not just for NASCAR, but also IndyCar. Toyota, Chevy, Ford, your top four, once again, all fighting for the championship. Best finish amongst the championship six wins the ENEA Farewell Crown and $170. And still two more stages of racing. You love to see it. 18, 5, 42 across the line. Green flag pit stops now underway in the final 12 laps of action. There's the 10 of Pot Pie and Dip coming down behind J-Man in the 19. Second place, A More Smoke with a mirror full of CGMX Rose. Eleven laps to go in the opening stanza. In fifth and in sixth, the two-car tandem of the Aviator in car 48, Dr. Bush in the number 8 Alsco Chevrolet behind car 48, and A More Smoke now diving to the inside of the 18 with the 42 of CGMX Rose in tow. This is the dance they've been dancing all race long. 5-car looks to clear the 18, just can't get him out of turn number 4, but A More Smoke has CGMX Rose in tow. Stout Whiskey in the 2, and he's going to bring his Discount Tire Mustang into third. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, your top four. 10 to go, 9 at the line. Second place, CGMX Rose with a win. Trying to get his second. He doesn't necessarily have to win, but he's got to beat his championship rivals. 9 laps remaining. Stout Whiskey in the same boat. But when all your championship rivals are running in the top 5, a win is almost guaranteed to be what's necessary. We'll see in these next laps. .42 is in, 48 is in. Now the new leader still remains Stout Whiskey, A More Smoke, but Stout Whiskey trails in the second position. 8 laps to go, and how far will these drivers stretch their fuel? Surely they can't find 8 laps of room. We'll see what the leaders do this time by. There they are, 5-2 down pit road. A More Smoke leads Stout Whiskey. New leader in car 24, who pitted earlier and now benefiting from the cycle. Catchdog 70 sitting in front now. 7 laps to go as he overtakes car 42, CGMX Rose. The 24 dipping down before turn 3, signaling his intent to come down pit road. And there is the Axalta Chevrolet decelerating, coming down at an alarming rate of speed. That looked way too fast for pit road entrance. We'll see what becomes of Catchdog in these final 6 laps. At the front, in car 77, Timmy Moore, aka Word Burton, leading this race. Has he been saving fuel this whole time? Is that why the 77 was sitting at the back of the pack? But for now, he is in front of Dr. Bush in car number 8. PTH the GOAT in the 18 car sits behind him, currently running 9th, a lap down, beaten by the pit stop cycle. We are inside the final 6 laps. Word Burton in the 77 letting the 8 car go by. Will he let the 18 car as well? Dr. Bush sitting in the 5th position. The 18. Dr. Bush in the 6th position. The 18 car of PTH, the GOAT, sitting in 7th place, now on the tail end of that lead lap. Tim Moore crosses the line. 4 to go in stage number 1. I haven't seen the 77 car pit yet, and that must mean he's on an extreme fuel-saving strategy, but what a way to announce your strategy in the final if he can pull this one off. Four and a half miles is all that remains for Tim Moore to get the Stage 1 victory. 2 to go. Next time by, will he be able to make this work? Dr. Bush in the 8, PTH the GOAT behind him in the 18. There's some more smoke in car number 5. He and Stout Whiskey running nose to tail. Behind him, the 42 of CGMX Rose with his friend, the Aviator, in car 48. Catchdog 70 out of pit road with fresh tires and fuel. And Annihilator sits motionless, soundless, and the number 17 Roush Racing Ford out of the final. Stout Whiskey looking to get to the inside of a more smoke as Tim Moore crosses the line for 2 more circuits in this first stage, gambling everything on fuel, and the Advent Health 77 Chevy may Catchdog getting into the leader after just bouncing off of the second corner. A bit of irresponsibility from the Exalta Chevrolet, not minding his manners around one of the championship contenders. Moore, ever resilient, seems unfazed coming out of the fourth corner down onto the apron, running extremely low on fuel. He's got one more lap to get the stage win. Have a listen to Tim Moore's engine. It's ever so gentle with the fuel, with the throttle. 3/4 of a mile is all that remains for Tim Moore. Talk about a strategy here, not pitting in the first stage. He could coast to the end from here, and what a way to win stage number 1 in the championship final. Timmy Moore will beat a more smoke to the line. Stout Whiskey in second. A more smoke in second, Stout Whiskey in third, CGMX Rose fourth. The Aviator in the 48 car will finish 5th, Dr. Bush 6th, and the final championship contender, PTH the GOAT, coming in 7th. Fans at home, a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back for the start of stage number 2. Down this front straight, the Aviator starting in 4th, Stout Whiskey in 3rd, but it's Word Burton and a more smoke. 2 of your championship contenders, matter of fact, 6. All 6 championship contenders running in the top 7 positions, funneling single file into turn number 1. Here they come to start stage number 2. More smoke leading the first lap after restart. Stout Whiskey on his outside, 2x2, 3 rows deep into the first corner. The championship contenders fighting hammer and tong, but it's a more smoke who will come out of the second corner with the outright lead. Stout Whiskey drafting behind him in the Discount Tire Ford and the Ally Chevrolet of the Aviator, trying to sneak his way into 3rd, having to check up with the 42 of CGMX Rose sliding back. Everybody fighting for real estate that may not necessarily be there, but they all make it through one more time. 35 laps remain in this second stage. Stout Whiskey sitting in that 2 car ahead of the 48. Look at the 48 of the Aviator, trying to get to the inside of the Discount Tire Ford. Stage 2 just started, but they're already going at it like it's the final 10 laps of stage number 3. Of course, that's all we're fighting for. 6 drivers fighting for one title, the ENEA Heat 5 Farewell Championship. They all started 8 weeks ago with the dream to be there, and 6 of them have made it thus far. Which of those Super 6 will take the checkered flag at the end and be crowned the ENEA NASCAR Heat 5 champion? So far, More Smoke has good intentions, but let's ride along with one of his main rivals, the Aviator, in the number 48 Ally Chevrolet. There you see Eli White, aka the Aviator, to the inside of a More Smoke. They cross this line. 48 just behind the 5. Will have 30 laps left in this stage. 48 edging out the 5 out of turn number 2, the custom Freightliner Chevrolet, to the outside of the Ally Chevrolet. The Discount Tire Ford behind the Aviator in that 48. Ward Burton, your stage 1 winner in car 77. Just ahead of the 18 of PTH the GOAT. Everybody raising all the car they can up to that wall, almost as if to scrape it to maximize the speed into turn number 1. Next time at the line, it will be 29 to go in stage 2. Everybody just riding around now, waiting for those pit stops. Most of the Championship 6 biding their time, playing the waiting game right now at the front. It is the 48 of the Aviator, but to what cost? Is he burning too much fuel and tires? We already have one driver on their way in. That's C. Johnson in the number 32 CorvetteParts.net Halloween-themed Ford. And Catchdog 70 also coming down in the number 24 Exalta Chevrolet. Once again, Annihilator, our first DNF of the race. Stout Whiskey running in third right now. It's Chevy, Toyota, Ford, your top 3. The Aviator leading PTH the GOAT in second. Here's Stout Whiskey in third with a More Smoke behind him in position at number 4. Dr. Bush rounds out the top 5, and they're 2 by 2 behind them for the rest of the spots. 26 to go next time. Four drivers fighting it out for the lead right now. C. Johnson coming out of pit road in the number 32 Keen Parts Ford. There's the 6 of Sir Brunson, all by his lonesome. Big shout out to ENEA Shotgun playing the role of pace car today. And for the last 7 weeks as well, Shotgun has done a diligent job of playing the role of pace car. Often the unsung hero, but here's to ENEA Shotgun giving us these great images from pit road, from the corner. Thanks, Shotgun. We appreciate you, man. The DeWalt Camry getting getting overtaken by the number 19 sponsorless Camry. That's Drew LMAO and J-Man swapping spots. And speaking of swapping spots, the 18 of PTH the GOAT now makes his move to the inside of the Aviator. It's a Toyota, Ford, Chevy Train getting to the inside of the Ally Chevrolet. We'll have 23 laps to go next time by. Big shout out to Detailer 1616, who followed just about an hour ago and says he's enjoying his first race. Teller, welcome, buddy. Glad to have you here once again. And the rest of the viewers as well. If you recently joined us, I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of the ENEA Farewell Series, brought to you by di9Designs. At the front, you have a Toyota, Ford, Chevy trilogy of PTH the GOAT, Stout Whiskey, and a more smoke in your top three. Now the Aviator to the inside of a more smoke, this for third all the way down to the white line, and a textbook pass. Toyota, Ford, Chevy, still your top three, but now the third place taken over by the pilot of that silver and purple, number 48 Ally Chevrolet. 2x2, 2 rows deep in your top four, and the number 8 of the 8 of Dr. Bush. Watching all of this unfold, here's two more championship contenders running behind the 10 of Pot Pie and Dip. You're looking at the 42 of Luis Zater, aka CGMX Rose, in the Credit 1 Chevrolet. And then right here, my friend Timmy Moore in the number 77 Advent Health Camaro, running 6th and 7th respectively. Next time by, drivers will have 20 laps to go in stage number 2. Is Ward Burton on the same fuel strategy he was that won him stage number 1? Only one way to find out. But how about this? 3 wide for the lead. The Aviator right into the vacuum hole. He gets split just like those bowling pins down at the front. It's also the 2 and the 18 fighting it out. Everybody just swapping spots like it's Talladega. 2-0 to go in the second period. A more smoke muscling his way to the inside of Stout Whiskey. Look at this 3 wide for the lead. These drivers really going hammer and tongs, knowing green flag pit stop cycles are on their way. The 5 now in front of the 8. That's a more smoke on Dr. Bush, while PTH the GOAT leads this race by 0.2 of a second with 19 laps remaining. Camry, Camaro, your top three Camaros in a row. Then you've got the Mustang of Stout Whiskey. Now it's the 5 of a more smoke who gets a big boost from the 8 of Dr. Bush. The 42 of CGMX Rose sitting in 4th. He's got Stout Whiskey behind him. 5 to the inside of the 18. More smoke. New leader at Chicagoland, but not for long. You saw Dr. Bush getting right to the inside. He thought about it. There was a hole, and to quote the great Ayrton Senna, if there is a gap and you no longer go for it, you're no longer a racing driver. To paraphrase, I should say, the great Ayrton Senna in an interview with Jackie Stewart. One of, I would think, the more remembered quotes about the great Brazilian Formula One champion. The Freightliner Camaro of a more smoke leading yet another lap, 16 to go. Next time by, stage 2 going to come down to a green flag pit stop cycle just like stage number 1. So far, no yellows in this race, and if you need a refresher, brought to you by di9Designs, these are those Championship 6, those Super 6 drivers that are looking to get the best finish amongst themselves to be crowned ENEA NASCAR Heat 5 champion. The 42 of CGMX Rose now behind the 8 of Dr. Bush, 3 Chevrolets on the inside line. Then you've got the 2 Discount Tire Ford of Stout Whiskey bringing up the back of that bottom lane. At the back of the top lane is the number 77 Advent Health Camaro. Timmy Moore, aka Ward Burton, behind the 48 of the Aviator, trying to get single file, but for the 10 car of Pot Pie and Dip, the black sheep on the outside in that Smithfield Ford. Going through the field, that looks like the 19 of J-Man, who's now exiting pit road, getting his tires and fuel to make it the whole distance on the end of stage 2. The number 37, Natty Light Chevy, the number 16, FOE Camaro, and then the number 20, DeWalt Camry, the grouping of the Real MT, NNR Trip, and Drew LMAO. And like the song says, all by myself, Catchdog 70 flying solo in his Exalta Chevy. See if we can bother Annihilator real quick, see how his race is going. Went, I should say. Stout Whiskey in the 2-car, now to the inside of Dr. Bush. He's going to plant himself in 3rd inside the final 15 laps. Chevy Ford, a more smoke leading CGMX Rose. There is your bronze medalist as they run Stout Whiskey, and they're all catching up to the 6 Oscar Mayer Wienermobile of Sir Brunson. They've got lucky number 13 laps to go. It'll be a dozen left at the line. Sir Brunson keeping himself on the outside as to avoid the championship contenders, and now right smack dab in their way. You can see them scramble as the number 6 Oscar Mayer Ford still sits at the front, now on the outside in the corner, politely removing himself from the situation. 2 by 2, 2 rows deep inside the final dozen, and it looks like the 42 of CGMX Rose is making his plan to take that lead. It'll be 10 to go next time by. There's Rosie, CGMX Rose in the number 42 Credit 1 Chevrolet, leading the 2 of Stout Whiskey, who's ahead of a more smoke, sitting in 3rd. Dr. Bush in 4th, ahead of Pot Pie and Dip. Non-championship contenders riding in front of the 18 of PTH the GOAT. 10 laps remain. 42 leads the field, but will he have the fuel to go that distance? At the back of this pack is the driver that saved all his gas to win stage number 1, the 77 of Ward Burton. But how long can he make that last? PTH the GOAT, the Season 3 ENEA champion. Perrin Huggins, to those that know, riding behind the 10 of Pot Pie and Dip. Then there's Dr. Bush, not fighting for this title. With 9 laps to go, let's ride around with the Alsco Chevy and see if he decides to come down pit road sooner rather than later. Fuel lights going on across all those dashboards. 6 laps to go, this time by Stout Whiskey firmly to the inside of car 42, CGMX Rose. Then you've got the 8 of Dr. Bush sitting in 3rd. Look at everybody signaling their intent to come down pit road. Ward Burton on the outside in car 77. Can he pull off the same trick twice? 2-car dives down, 8-car dives down, and everybody puts on their scuba gear to dive down pit road. Hopefully, no penalties amongst them. 6 laps to go in this race, and I can count 4 championship contenders on their way in, and here are the other 2 on the way out of pit road. The 48 and the 5, who gets out right in front of Drew LMAO, signaling his plans to come down pit road. But here's the car everybody's going to be looking at. It's the 77 of Word Burton comes out of turn 4 with that lead. Behind him, the 48 of the Aviator and the 5 of Amore Smoke, currently a lap down inside the final 5 laps, as the 77 puts all of those cars behind him. 1 lap down, and the clouds in the sky say it's the same storm that's going to hit stage 1. Rock NASCAR 388 says, keep on digging, drivers. Fans, at the end of this stage, we're going to have a 30-second break and we'll be ad-free for the next 10 minutes. After that, Rocky, glad to have you in the chat, my friend. Miss you, buddy. Love you. I hope everybody is doing well. 77 across that line. 4 to go. Next time by. And Timmy Moore, a.k.a. Word Burton, on fuel conservation mode, looking to win his 2nd straight stage in the di9Designs Heat 5 final. Laps winding down, Tim Moore letting his competition go around the outside. 77 comfortably in the lead while he lets his competitors get their laps back. It's 2 laps to go for car 77, Tim Moore, and just have a listen as to how he manages this fuel. Of Drew LMAO going to his inside, coming to that white flag. Timmy Moore looks like he's going to be able to pull the same trick twice, but he's going for the hat trick in stage number 3. 77 car comes across that line. He's got 1.5 more miles to get the stage 2 win. The real MT now goes to his inside, blowing past the 77 as if he's not even there. Timmy Moore on the brink of setting himself up for greatness. But can he do it one more time? Stage 3 will be much longer. The fuel strategy will be completely different. But for now, Tim Moore is ruling the roost. Comes out of turn number 4, and fuel strategy will win the stage again. Timmy Moore gets the win. Twice as nice in stage number 2. We'll take a 30-second break and we'll be back for the start of the final stage of ENEA on NASCAR Heat 5. Here we go. The Championship 6. We know them already, and this is their time. The final stage of ENEA Racing on Heat 5 is underway with Word Burton leading the field for 52 more laps of fun. How will Ward Burton make this work now? 50 laps to go, this time by in the final stage. The Championship 6 have it all to play for now. Ward Burton, the fuel-saving master, but will it come to that? Looking to drive for the cycle now after winning the first 2 stages, but those Championship 6, front and center, present to duke it out, to be crowned the king of NASCAR Heat 5 and win $170 into turn number 3. 3 wide between the 5, the 18, and the 77. More smoke on the top side. PTH the GOAT in the middle and the Aviator on the inside. Everybody squeezing each other. Look at those cars, 4 wide, almost 5 wide into turn 1. And they come out clean on the other side, or do they? 4 wide, everybody getting into the wall. Still 4 wide now, 5 wide, everybody just trying to survive this hornet's nest out of the second corner, and they all make it through beautifully. That right there has to be our Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Beautifully done. Everybody just surviving all of that mayhem, and no cautions, still 0 cautions in this race. That is commendable in itself. At the front, it's a Chevy, Toyota, Ford trio. PTH the GOAT now getting a big push from Pot Pie and Dib in the 10 car. This for the lead in the final stage. And it looks like there's a caution. Yellow flag is out. A game caution being run here. So we'll sit here tight for the next 30-odd seconds. Give ourselves a little bit of a break here. Once again, a big shout out to the folks at di9Designs. Head over to CircleBDiecast.com. Use code di9Designs for free shipping on all your diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. Flipping the switch after bunching the cars back up. Green flag is out in Chicagoland. The Aviator sits on the front row with PTH the GOAT. Ward Burton, who won the first 2 stages, now on the inside of the real MT in the 37, following a more smoke, and he's got the 42 of CGMX Rose following him. At the front, the Aviator still leads. He's got PTH the GOAT behind him. J-Man running in the 3rd position. Sir Brunson actually up towards the mix here. That's a bit of fresh air. Inside the final 40 laps now. Everybody getting set. There will be at least one more pit stop. How far can they stretch it? These drivers can go approximately. Well, Ward Burton has shown us if you stretch the fuel to its very limit, the drivers can go approximately 32 laps on 1 tank of fuel. But of course, that's at the absolute stretch with a couple of incredibly slow lap times just to get across, as Ward Burton has shown to win Stage 1 and Stage 2. Realistically speaking, drivers will be able to make it about 25-ish laps. So we're definitely still set up for one mandatory pit stop to the end. CGMX Rose in the 42 right now riding behind Ward Burton. Let's get a glimpse of life from the roof of car 42. Into the first corner, CGMX Rose behind the 77 of Ward Burton. At the front of this race, car 18. PTH the GOAT leading the rest of the field. He's got his Toyota teammate behind him, J-Man in the number 19 car. NNR Trip in the FOE Chevy running to the outside of Amore Smoke in car number 5. The 24 at the bottom of our frame is Catchdog 70. There is the number 24 Exalta Chevy. Stout Whiskey in the number 2 to the inside of Pot Pie and Dip, now looking to overtake the Aviator in that 48. They are championship rivals, but still plenty of race remains. PTH the GOAT leading comfortably in that 18 car. Crosses the line, 98 laps underway and 37 circuits remain. Running away with this lead, here's a strategy we have not seen before. The 18 car making himself the hair almost, but he's got a great two-car tandem going with J-Man in car 19. Possibly he's got himself a little bit of muscle to take on all of these competitors behind him. You've got to keep your friends close, but are his enemies close enough to where the 18 car knows when he has to pit and for how much fuel? 35 to go, next time by 5, 42, 77 running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. More Smoke, I'm sorry, the number 2 of Stout Whiskey running 6th. The Aviator running in 8th. Pick your driver, root for him. 35 more laps, and one of these 6 drivers will be the ENEA Heat 5 champion. One more race to settle it all. The Farewell Series started 8 weeks ago with so many drivers in participation, and it's now boiled down to the final 6. Who will survive? We're about to find out, with pit stops looming and fuel mileage being the dictator of your Stage 1 and Stage 2 winners. Are we set up for the same kind of finish, or will it be a knockdown, drag-out shootout to decide our winner? The Aviator now behind Stout Whiskey. There's Drew LMAO in the 20 car. Once again, a big shout out to ENEA Shotgun, who's done the wonderful role of playing pace car tonight. But now it looks like Shotgun may have possibly DNF'd, and that's just a shame. Shotgun not even able to finish the role of pace car, but sometimes that's the way the Heat 5 cookie crumbles. The real MT now working on the number 6 Wienermobile of Sir Brunson. We've got 32 more circuits remaining, and here's one of our championship contenders, the 2 Discount Tire Ford of Stout Whiskey, sandwiched between the 77 and the 48 of Ward Burton and the Aviator. You're looking at 5 of your 6 championship contenders running nose to tail. 5, 42, 77 to 48. At the tail end, the 10 of Pot Pie and Dip, following these 5 of the 6 championship contenders. Who is the 6th, you might ask? It's going to be the 18 car of PTH the GOAT, being pushed along by J-Man in the number 19 Orange Camry. But here comes the cavalry. Everybody chasing them down. These 6 drivers have lined up nose to tail to beat the top 2 at their own game, and they say anything you can do with 2 cars, we can do better with 6. The draft coming into play, and the draft could be a dictator in who wins this race. Pot Pie and Dip helping the cause on the back end of this lead lap pack. Now inside the final 30 circuits. PTH the GOAT completes 105 of the scheduled 134, and we officially have 29 laps remaining in this event. More smoke in this number 5 car, sitting third in the line. He's caught up to J-Man in car number 19. What can J-Man do now to help the 18 of PTH the GOAT? Top 7, all single file. J-Man moves down to the inside, trying to throw a block on the 5 of a more smoke, and the 42 backing down, awaiting some checkup from the 5, and he predicts correctly. J-Man moves to the outside wisely to let the championship contenders through. 5, 42, 77, 2, 48, all making their way through, running the train on the inside of turn number 1, and the 18 car can hear the Jaws music. Do the cars behind him smell blood in the water? PTH the GOAT leading the field down across the line. Half a second is all that separates the top 5. We're going to have 25 to go. Next time by, and when will they make these pit stops? Drivers on the tail end of their fuel runs. One question, though, is how will this affect Ward Burton? He has been the king of fuel tonight. Will he use it once again to his advantage, or is the strategy just not on cycle? Now the top 7, your top 6 championship contenders running 1st through 6th, moving, jostling, trying to find their place, setting themselves up for a potential draft partner or a friend that could push them to the win. 18, 5, 42 your top 3, 24 to go this time by. Down to the line, 18-5, 42, headed into the 3rd corner now. PTH the GOAT leading this race, but for how much longer will he intend to lead through the pit stop cycle? $23 laps to go, and what a season it's been. Excuse me, literally getting choked up over the emotion. What a season it's been. Toyota, Chevy, Ford as Stout Whiskey now moves into the 3rd position. And it seems like 8 races really isn't enough, but it's been a lot of work, a lot of camaraderie between some of the best in this Heat 5 community, and what a way to end it with 21 to go. Next time by, it will be a shootout, and it will be a question of who can manage their tires the best. The top 3 starting to run away with this race. However, championship contenders still waiting in the wings. There's a more smoke in the 5 car behind the 2 of Stout Whiskey, the 42 of CGMX Rose, waiting desperately. Will he catch them? Will he let the pit stops cycle through? 21 laps to go, 2-0 to go, next time at the line. PTH the GOAT holding on to that lead bravely, valiantly. But now here comes a more smoke. He says it's my time to lead. To the inside of car number 18 with 20 laps to go. Your new leader is a more smoke in the custom Freightliner Chevrolet. Stout Whiskey behind him. CGMX Rose sitting in third, and it looks like they're going to run a train on the inside of car number 18, but now half of the line decides to go high. They still have to come down pit road. Are they picking drafting partners and pitting teammates? 5-2, 42 on the inside line. Your top three with 19 laps to go in ENEA di9Designs farewell for NASCAR Heat 5. A more smoke leading Stout Whiskey. The top two breaking away. You see the 42 of CGMX Rose saying he's going to come down pit road by dipping his car below the line on the back straight. 42 out of the inside. Here come a ton of leaders on their way in. They're crashing on the way through that front straight. You saw the one car went around there. That's the 19 of J-Man who went for a spill. The 16 of NNR Trip has been involved in that one. We stay green, but will this cause a manual caution? Stout Whiskey now behind the 5 of A More Smoke. We're still running so far. Nobody slowing down just yet. The 10 of Pot Pie and Dip running in third. Coming out of the fourth corner. Listen to the engine note now. Still green, no yellow, despite the mix-up at the front. Everybody seems to make it through okay. Stout Whiskey behind the 5, these two staying out as long as they possibly can. What about Word Burton, who was staying out earlier on his pit strategy? The Aviator comes out behind the 18 of PTH the GOAT. These two right here now running slow, and it looks like it is indeed a manual caution. It is a manual caution. A More Smoke leading the 2 of Stout Whiskey. And inside the final 20 laps of action, we have a yellow flag. Drivers are going to come around. We're going to take a 60-second break here, fans. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be ad-free for the next 20 minutes. So this 60-second break is actually going to guarantee no commercials from here to the end. Well, no Twitch commercials, at least, from here to the end. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute with the conclusion of the di9Designs Heat 5 Farewell Series. So this is it. 2x2 out of the fourth corner. A more smoke on the outside of CGMX Rose. Green flag will fly at Chicagoland. 14 laps to settle your Heat 5 champion. And it looks like we have... Or are they going at the line? They are going at the line. Green flag is out. No, they're not. Absolutely they're not. It looked like they were, but one of the lovely things about Heat 5. Real pace car. So we'll sit here for one more circuit. We're going to get ready to go. This is it. Lucky 13. 13 more laps to decide your championship fate. It's been an incredible year of camaraderie, of friendship, of competition, racing, and enjoyment in one way or another, but it's time to draw the curtain, and it's time to close up the shops on NASCAR Heat 5. 6 drivers have worked their way to this moment. Stout Whiskey, Amore Smoke, PTH the GOAT, CGMX Rose, the Aviator, and Word Burton. Pick your fighter. Only one will be champion, and we've got 13 laps to figure it out. The 42 and the 5 on row number 1, the 2 in row 2, the 48 in row 3. Green flag is out. 13 more laps to settle the ENEA champion. A dozen laps, 11 at the line. The 42 of CGMX Rose leading the 2 of Stout Whiskey. Then it's the Aviator in third. Amore Smoke in fourth. Dives down to the inside, and he moves his chest piece to the inside of that 48 Ally Chevrolet, trying to put his Freightliner Chevy in third. Here comes the 18 of PTH the GOAT, running on the fringes of the top 5, looking to make his way in. 11 more circuits. What can you do in 11 laps? How will you set yourself up in 11 laps? Will we go caution-free in these 11 laps? 10 at the line, 42, 2-5, your top 3. Combat B says, what's up, Rick? What's up, man? 10 laps to go in ENEA's Heat 5 history. 18 to the inside of the 5. PTH the GOAT can't make it stick. It's the di9Designs Heat 5 farewell final round. Look at them snake down the back straight. Everybody racing like they've got something to lose. 42 leads the 2. Aggressive drafting now. Nobody giving an inch, as they should. It is the championship final, and look at them race for it. The 42 guarding that yellow line with his life. 8 laps to go next time by. 5 to the inside of the 2, Amore Smoke moving on Stout Whiskey for second. $170 on the line for our champion. Stout Whiskey on the outside. Here comes PTH the GOAT to the inside. 5 on the inside line. 42, 5, 18 your top 3. Stout Whiskey in 4th. Dr. Bush sitting in 5th. Pot Pie and Dib in 6th. In 7th place, another championship contender, the 48 of the Aviator. Car 77, Word Burton, well outside the top 10 with 8 laps to go. Is his championship done? 42 ahead of the 5, riding along with 2nd place, Amore Smoke. Watch this as they snake down the front straight. one more time down the back. Watch the 42 guard the inside. (42, 5, 18, Chevy, Toyota, everybody fanning out, this time by, 6 to go. 8 weeks of work and preparation has led to this, but it's been more than a year. More than 2 years. This entire platform has been with us for the better part of 5 years, and now it all comes down to the next 5 laps. 42 on the inside of the 5. CGMX Rose guarding his lead against the more smoking car, number 5. There's the 42 Credit 1 Chevy getting a little bit of contact. 5 has to back up. 18 of PTH the GOAT sits in third. 4 to go. Next time by. If you're the 42, do you dare look in that mirror, or is it all just the clear sailing? You think it is ahead. 5 car forcing the 42 to block extremely low. Will he try that again? 5 puts a bumper to the 42. A more smoke gets that bumper from the 18, and he sets himself up because here comes PTH the GOAT to the inside of car number 5. He gets into the 2 of Stout Whiskey, saves it from crashing. Everybody makes it through. 3 to go this time. Laps to go. This game's platform has been with us for the better part of 5 years. Through happiness, through frustration, through alternative gaming, we're still here on Heat 5 and 2 more laps as they're wrecking behind them. They're wrecking behind them with 2 laps to go. The caution comes out and the di9Designs ENEA farewell final will come down to a green, white, checkered finish. Drivers have approximately 20 seconds to gather their thoughts. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. $170 on the line for the champion. Second place with 90. Third with 50. Fourth with 30. Everybody wants the top prize. They want the cash, but most of all, they want to say they are the NASCAR Heat 5 ENEA champion. The 18 of PTH the GOAT lining up behind Catchdog in the 24 gets down to the inside. Catchdog will race it here. Is the 24 getting involved in championship affairs? 2 laps remain. 42 to the outside of the 24. Catchdog still in front. Catchdog not fighting for the title. Now holding up the 18 of PTH the GOAT. 42 to the outside. Everybody looking to split car 24. Catchdog no idea what to do. Doesn't come up the left-hand line, holding down to the 18, now in the vacuum hole and gives himself up, gets into the 48, puts the Aviator into the wall, coming to the white flag. 42 to the inside now. CGMX Rose leads a more smoke. 18 in third now. Stout Whiskey was inside. Pot Pie and Dip on the outside. The 24 may have just affected this title. 42 in front of the 5. Down the back straight, 3/4 of a mile remains. The 5 of a more smoke, well to the inside of the 42 of CGMX Rose. One more chance out of turn number 4. Luis Zater in the Credit 1 Chevrolet, working for everything, coming out of the 4th corner, and it won't be a challenge, it'll be Zater winning the di9Designs ENEA final from Chicagoland. A green-white checkered to decide the champion, and unofficially, CGMX Rose gets the win. He gets the money. He gets the accolade. Unbelievably done. Fans at home, sit tight. We're going to have top 3 in the podium. Don't go anywhere. T-Glass 19 saying, and they wreck across the line in the back. Rocky offering his congratulations. ENEA Shotgun says, wow. Drew LMAO saying the 37 lags. Everybody saying this was intense. And what a finish. Fans, sit tight. We're going to take a short break here. And before we get to our podium interviews, let's talk about 6 races in these Mazda MX-5s. Let's talk about them. We'll be back here. Take a look at this. On the podium now with our top 3 championship finishers. Starting in third, driving the number 77, Advent Health Chevy, winning the first 2 stages, but in the end, a little bit of interference, and Ward Burton manages to come home third. Timmy Moore, describe that last lap, buddy. Frustrating indeed.
I mean, last lap was just all lucky. Stout chased the 42 and the 5 down, below the apron, and had to do what he had to do. And PTH was just right there. And I got lucky. They washed up into the entry and got underneath. But I mean, overall, stage 1 and 2, we just tried to see if we could trap guys a lap down and try to play that strategy. Didn't really work. I knew we had a really fast car, but man, I mean, I just so frustrated. I really felt like Chicagoland's one of my best tracks. And I really felt like if we weren't going to win, obviously Rose, Aviator, Moore, I mean, all those guys, really, the top 6, I could have picked anyone to win tonight. But it's just real irritating when I have guys around me not racing for anything, and they're just driving people with disrespect, sending people. It's just so frustrating, because I felt like tonight we had a really good chance, and to see my chance at at least good track position, obviously, yeah, I came home a third, thankfully because of a caution, but to see my chance legitimately wiped away because I get passed by someone on the apron not racing for anything, and he'd done it 4 times that race, it's absolutely irritating.
Fans in the chat agreeing with you, saying the 24 is culpably at fault, but thanks for your words anyway, Timmy Moore. Now with our second place finisher in the number 5, Freightliner Chevrolet. More smoke. Frustrating as well. You managed to come home second in the di9Design Championship final.
I'm not really frustrated at all. It was a really fun race. Had a lot of fun racing all night, honestly. Changing the lead, racing for the lead. Had a chance there at the end. It's just really hard to get underneath somebody at tracks like this, where the bottom line, especially when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 cars lined up on the bottom ready to go, you can't do anything on the outside. If you go to the outside, you're gonna get shuffled out. I gave it my all. I could have wrecked Rose, but I can't do that to him. He's a good racer. He's racing to be clean. Yeah, we worked together at parts of the night to catch back up to some of the guys. Car was really good. Second isn't bad. Wish we could have got the championship. Still haven't, put that in my notch of NASCAR heat stuff. So finished second in a lot of championships.
And here you are, second one more time, but you're going to come away with a little bit of money as well, and you're not going to go away unrewarded. Congratulations on that silver medal.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the broadcast, man. You did a great job this whole series. I watch it back all the time. Great commentator, honestly.
Can't do it without you guys. I merely do the talking. You guys do all the action, but thank you again and more. We'll see you soon. Our winning interview brought to you by di9Designs, the Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Posting graphics on all platforms multiple times a week on top of taking requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Use their code di9Designs for free shipping on diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. And now the winner. Driver of the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet, winning $170 and the title of di9Designs ENEA Farewell Champion, Luis Zeiter, CGMX Rose. You are the champion.
Thank you, Rick. That was a heck of a race. Very stressful those last 13 or so laps. Just trying to protect the bottom. It's just what you got to do with the runs people get, and just the bottom is just way faster than the middle and top lane. So I hate racing like that, especially against guys like Amore and Stout, people that I love racing around and that don't race me dirty. But it's just the way you got to do it if you're going to try to win, or else you're just going to fall back because everybody's just going to run the bottom and freight train you.
That's the way you got it done, and that's the way you held on for that win. A little bit of cash, a little bit of prestige, but overall, you've got the title of NASCAR Heat 5 ENEA champion, my friend. Where are we going from here? Surely we're focusing our sights on winning championships on the next iteration of the console game.
Yeah, just Ignition comes out tomorrow at midnight, so I'm probably going to be racing a lot on there with people like Aviator and Amore if he gets it, just trying to get used to that game, and hopefully we are able to win championships and do good things on that game.
We'll be looking out for you there, Luis. Congratulations again on your win, buddy. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
And look at that. Got a new follower there. Let's go, Brandon 2022. Thank you for following. Thanks for being part of the Rick James TV channel. Ladies and gentlemen, what an absolute pleasure it's been to do ENEA, to do what for me has been the last 3 seasons of ENEA racing. And despite the frustrations for the broadcasting community and the racing community apart, it's been a bit of a treat on NASCAR Heat 5 to do ENEA, Thursday Night Thunder, A-Squared, and everything in between. We've got one more NASCAR Heat 5 race planned 3 weeks from now. The A-Squared final, part of ARCS Racing, will be right here on Rick James TV. Go to racearcs.com to find out more. That's racearcs.com for more details. But my esteemed thanks to Connor Cordes, Tanner Lockhart, Perrin Huggins, all the innovators, all the engineers, and everybody that puts ENEA together. But of course, you, the fans, whom with all of this, it is not possible. My penultimate NASCAR Heat 5 stream went fantastic, and from here on out, the focus will be towards iRacing and the best in broadcasting, not only for myself, but for you, the fans, for whom it's all for. Let me know what we need to do to make it a little more interesting on Twitter. Let me know how you enjoyed the stream, and let me know how we can make it just a bit more fun for everybody involved. Tomorrow night, Mazda Mondays right here on Rick James TV. And until then, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other. And we will see you all around.